The default setting for D&D 5th edition is the Forgotten Realms. Far from how many people play it, the Forgotten Realms is nothing like Tamriel or the Continent or Middle-earth. The easiest sell for D&D is that it's like the Lord of the Rings, but in truth it really isn't. Many people have made the Forgotten Realms their own, and I commend them for that, but that is something that should not have been necessary. Early D&D existed in a fantasy land with no edges that stretched as far as the combined imaginations of every player on Earth, and this is far superior to what we have now. D&D 5e is far from setting agnostic, and this makes for a whole array of problems. Take Tieflings, for example, who are frequently mistrusted in the Forgotten Realms, and I quote, "To be greeted with stares and whispers, to suffer violence and insult on the street, to see mistrust and fear in every eye, this is the lot of the Tiefling." This assumption is baked into the details for that race in the player's handbook, and so, even if a DM is coming along to create their own world, they're most likely going to inherit this massive scale of racial prejudice. And what happens when you play in a world full of prejudices that are so far-reaching and ubiquitous that they become background noise? You start to treat racial discrimination as background noise in that world, and the longer that persists, the longer it remains acceptable as a feature of reality. Not to mention the fact that players who have only played in the Forgotten Realms begin to internalize those ideas and bring them into other worlds that don't even have these problems. Again, many people have corrected for this in their own renditions of Faerun. They should not have to. Such assumptions should not be baked in, and as such, the Forgotten Realms should not be the default setting. Given how heavily D&D is already built into ideas of race and class, we should not also be running, as default, a world in which racism is so prevalent and internalized that I suspect the designers at Wizards of the Coast didn't notice it. In fact, I know they didn't notice it, because they still publish concepts unfiltered from the 1980s that contain harmful racial stereotypes. Additional note. I know this was partially addressed in the species playtest for 1D&D, but I don't think that one sentence is sufficient correction yet. They're on a good path, but there's much more to do there. Also, renaming race to species doesn't fix the issues with race, neither does kind. Pathfinder already has it nailed with lineages and ancestries. So anyway, stop playing in the Forgotten Realms, make your own world, and don't let even an ounce of what's come before seep in before you know it's exactly what you want for your world. D&D is ours, so let's make it good.